In this video, I will be explaining you the basics of XML. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language, and a markup language which is used to provide information about the documents, and tags are added to the documents to provide the extra information. XML tags gives a reader some idea what some of the data means. Suppose I got some information from the internet, and the data which I got is 500, and by seeing simply 500 I cannot say what sort of data it is. It may be a daily wage, it can be a pocket money, it can be a gift amount, or it is a number of volts of the electricity, it can be a hall ticket, or it can be an ID. But whereas if I keep that 500 within the tag, suppose if in the down I said salary, I have a tag there, and if I say 500 in between the tag, now we can easily understand what the purpose of 500 is. It says that it is a salary of an individual. That's what we say, that XML is used for defining the data which is coming from the internet. And basically XML is used for transferring data from one place to another place over an internet, and we say that we can even transfer the data at a faster rate, and a number of fields that has his own subsets. It means that we can have the formulas of mathematics, chemistry, etc. while transmitting the data from one device to another device. And we'll see some of the advantages we have when I use XML document. So it takes XML, when I store the data in an XML format, it takes less amount of space, and it can be transmitted very efficiently from one place to another place. And one more advantage we have with XML is it can be used in different media, like the data can be used as HTML, it can be used as a video, and all. And we'll see some of the rules which we use for having the tags in XML document. Similar to your HTML, XML is also going to have the tags, whereas in my HTML we use only the defined tags which will be identified by the browser, whereas in XML we are going to create our own tags. And while creating the tags, we need to follow some rules and regulations. We'll see some of the rules which we need to follow while we define the tags in XML. So as usual, similar to HTML, we have tags which need to be enclosed in angle brackets, and every tag should have a starting tag as well as ending tag, and your ending tag should start with your backslash, and each and every tag should be properly nested. If I can see here in the first line, name, email is there, but we are closing name first. It should not happen. Then but in the second line, if I can see here, name is there, email is there, we need to close the email, then we need to close the name. But here, if I can observe there, backslash is not found there. So whenever I close the tag, it should start with a backslash. And the tags that do not have end tags must be terminated by slash. The tags that do not have end tag must be terminated by a slash. We'll see some more rules in XML. Tags are case sensitive. It means if I have a tag with a name called address, it is not similar to capital A address. And XML in any combination of cases is not allowed as a part of a tag. XML tag should not contain angle bracket and symbol, and XML document should at least contain one single root node that begins the document. And we'll see what is a well-formed document is. If I say that I have an XML document, if it is following all the rules and regulations, then I call it as a well-formed document. And it is the duty of the parser to check whether all the rules are being obeyed or not. And recently all the browsers such as Internet Explorer 5, Netscape Navigator of 7 with come with XML parsers. Now we'll see an example, a basic example of an XML file. So your XML file is going to begin with the angle bracket. We'll begin with an angle bracket, okay, in which we are going to specify the version of the parser which we use for parsing my XML document. So I have a question mark, and this question mark says that we are going, this statement is called as a pre-processing statement, and where we define the parser version, and we are going to close it by using your backslash. Then, as I said earlier, your XML file should contain a root tag. So in this example, address is a root tag, and within the address, name I have, email is there, phone number is there, and birthday we have. Now if I closely look into this example, I can even divide this XML document further in this way. So I call this example as an expanded example, where we are going to have the same file but in a different way, or I can also call it as an expanded example. Under the address, I say I have a tag called name. So that name contains first name as well as your last name. So in this example, first name I have, last name I have, then we close your name tag. Then we have email, then we have phone number, then we have the tag called birthday, year, month and day. But in the example, in the last slide, I say if I have the data like 10, 3, 12, I can't understand which is year and which is date and which is month. Whereas if I expand my example further, it will be clear, saying that the 10 is an year, 3 is the month, and 12 is the day. And then we close the birthday, as well as we are going to close the address tag. So whenever I save the data, whenever I have an XML file, your parser is going to create an XML tree for a file. So the root node in my XML document, we are going to begin with a tag called address. So the first tag of my XML document has been treated as a root node, and under the root node I have a name tag, email tag, phone tag, and a birthday tag. And under that under the name we have the tag called first and last, and under the birthday we have year, month and day. So now we can say XML document has a single root node. The tree is generally ordered tree, and a parent node may have number of children. Children nodes are ordered and may have siblings, and for traversing a XML tree, we are going to use a pre-order traversal so that I can access the items of my XML document. So this is all about the XML document. In future